Welcome to the
Come-
Fourth Stump. Oh.
Sorry, mate.
Are you recording?
Yes. It's always when that record button gets pressed. Welcome to the Fourth Stump. We're getting too accustomed now to this position being slain at the hands of India. And we're here to dissect with the usual suspects of Rob, Roy, and Ross. India put into bat first and they made 317. Probably about 20 or 30 runs short of where we expected India to be. We thought England come out with a bit of passion, bit of promise, and really smash, and they did. Up until the 12th over, we were 120 for naught, but then everything fell apart and we crumbled. Roy, are India just that much better than us? How do you see the game went?
First off, it was actually really disappointing because there was so many things going in our favour in this game. That watching at the start of it, I thought to myself, India are naturally going to do what they normally do, and that's their think tank is all about starting slowly, building into an innings. Obviously, with people like Rohit Sharma and Darwan up top, they're normally quite aggressive batsmen, but more recently, the tactic has been to hold back quite a lot. And at one point, naturally, you look at India and you think, God, they're going nowhere here. They're only 46 runs and it's 12th, 13th over. And then suddenly you just started to think to yourself, they've just got too much class and skill and match awareness, even on such a good batting track. And to watch them in full flow once they got going, and England not taking wickets up top was obviously a massive flaw for us, because in a lot of the games previously that we've done so well in, and we've won in certainly, we've taken a lot of wickets up top with the likes of the pace from Wood. But if you just look at Darwan and Rohit and even Kohli when he come in, all they're keen to do really is just see their way into the game. Just patience. And I think that's something that later on we'll discuss it in more detail. But I think it's something massively that that we can learn from the way they start an innings. It's composed and controlled, and alongside that there is the flashy shots and the elegant strikes from Rohit and Darwan especially. So massively disappointed again with the result. Overall, mate, I think India are just a supreme outfit.
I think it's the amount of players they've got as well. They've brought debuts into T20s. They brought a couple of debuts in today, and they put pressure on the experienced players, so-called pressure on the experienced players. And you think, oh, well, can you still be putting players like Rahul into this team when the other players are playing so well? Rahul, he went out today. He got 62 off 43. Great little hit.
How under pressure he was.
Darwan, there's some question marks over him. He got 98 off 106 today, and then you got the inexperience of Kunal Pandya, debut today, 58 off 31, not out. Lovely. I mean, it's just the amount of different. They didn't even play Pant today. They've still got Jadeja to come back. They've got Bumrah to come back. I mean, this is how good the India side is.
Yadav as well. Yep.
Yeah. Yadav excluded. Yeah. I think just on the debuts as well, it feels like India can sort of bring in anybody at any point, and it makes such a difference. Whereas we can bring players in and we have to hope and pray that that it makes a difference. If we'd started to take some wickets before the 30th, 35th over around that sort of time, we would have been in a much better position, and we wouldn't have lost our line and length completely, because 8 overs towards the end, we didn't have a clue. We was putting the ball in all areas. I mean, talk about death bowling. I mean, we just got destroyed at the back end of innings. Credit to the Pandya though, like the older brother to come in on his debut. I mean, did you see that bit where Hardik was basically he was over the moon for him, really, because obviously he came in and got out quite quickly. And it was quite nice to see, like, touching kind of thing. He almost winked to him from a distance and to say, well done, brother. Like, it was great to see that. But some ferocious hitting towards the back end of the innings, and once again we just lost our way with the ball.
We did, and we missed Archer again. We knew we were going to, and no Archer in that side made a huge difference.
I'd just like to put my piece in there as well. As an avid England fan, extremely disappointed to have lost the game from the position we got ourselves in after Roy and Bairstow. Their opening stand of over 100 was just, was scintillating. Bairstow, being the key one out of the two. I think for me, the thing I take out today, and I really hope that Morgan learns from this, is that it almost feels to me like how England was about 3 or 4 years ago. I remember a particular game against Australia, and we we were just adopting the attacking approach, the one that England come known for now, and we got absolutely destroyed because we were attack. And I feel like over the process, but leading up to the World Cup, we got in that down pat. There will be periods where we'd attack, but it'd also be okay. Right, we need to be putting on a low scoring now. We need to be gritty, and today we weren't. Today we just were attacked. Stokes 1 from 11. I mean, he was in such a commanding position after the openers. Why was he going for balls like that after one run?
And straight after Bairstow, just because he got over 90, didn't give him a license to just whack it to mid off.
That's right.
Why do that? Just stand there for 10 balls, block them, just wait, just build a partnership with someone. That's what India would have done.
So the whole thing to me just feels like a bit of a reversal of going back to an older England. I hope that we learn from this and move on.
Well, I think that Chris Wood came in and did a remarkable job. Like, if there's somebody that's going to come in and actually take those wickets at the end, take those wickets towards the middle of an innings, when we got bowlers like Tom Curran and Sam Curran who had terrific rates today, but they just weren't taking wickets. And it was a case of, right, we need Archer just to come in. It doesn't really matter too much how expensive he is. We just need him to come in and just keep banging down the track and eventually get those wickets. And we got.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ed. Yeah, I think we did keep the bowling tight. There was a lid on this. Don't forget, we bowled really well. I don't think it was a disaster for the whole of the bowling innings, because at one point it was tight, it was under control. But what you always got to remember is, India are in control of what they're doing. They can get 4 or 5 wickets down, and they're still in control of what they're doing.
I think we do need to get those early wickets against India because, like you say, because they're so controlled the whole way through, that what they do is they're just patient early on, keep their wickets in hand, and then they know the last 20 overs, doesn't matter what they're on, they're going to catch the run rate up or like put on a good run rate the last 20 overs, and it doesn't matter if they lose wickets then, because they're 5, 6, even 7 can come in and go and put a good score on. So
I mean, I wrote down here, after 5 overs, India had 10 runs. I mean, we think of that as English fans, and we think, God, what they even, who's playing? They must be like part-timers.
They think it's a test or something. Yeah,
basically, batting like a test match. Yeah, but it's not the case. They're doing that to build a platform, and I think sometimes Ross is right. Really, I think sometimes we can be overly aggressive, and there's certain situations where I think Morgan needs to instill into these players, look, game management, let's think about it a little bit more. And just on that innings as well, I mean, I will pass it over to Rob because it's his favourite subject. When Moeen Ali came in, I actually felt like he looked like he'd come to the crease quite controlled, and he looked like he's going to hold back. And I think I put a tweet out saying, this is the crucial part of the game right now. This was it. It was towards, we still needed about 70 odd runs. And Moeen was at the crease with Billings, both with point to proves, of course. Billings given his opportunity today, which was great to see because he deserves it. When them two were at the crease together, you just felt like, just keep doing what you was doing. There was no pressure with run rate. The run rate was well under control. We was looking at 6 and over, which, we all know in this format, it is nothing, and it just felt like, well, what was the need? What was the haste? Why was there so much, need to quickly find a fence all the time? Because we knew the decent bowlers, that Bhuvi, we knew that Yadav was going to come into his own eventually. And then obviously on top of that, Fakur as well. Shadul, he just seemed to, we knew they were going to come.
It'd be perfect to have Davin Milan in that number 3 spot. I know I want Stokes to be in there eventually. I mean, no secret of that. You've got to keep him going. He hasn't batted too much. He hasn't had too many balls to face this whole India tour, Ben Stokes. Mainly because I don't think he has a specific role. He's not been given a specific role. Right? Like, this is what you're going to do. You're going to bat for us, and you're going to bat well for us. He's been 4th or 5th, maybe even 6th bowling choice and 4th or 5th batsman. He hasn't had the balls to get in and build an inning. So then throwing them up.
But that's where he's best. That's where he's best.
Yeah, but
I was going to say, sorry to cut you off. Rob's dying to come back at you. When you've been playing, I can see it in his eyes.
I'm just looking at Stokes, and I just don't see a number 3 there. I see a number 5 or 6. It's going to, when things are coming crashing down, and you want one person to be on your side to take your nation, put it on his shoulders and carry you over the line. It's Ben Stokes. He's done it time and time again. Why are we trying to put him up the order for? He's not. You don't need to put him up the order thinking he's got to smash every ball out of the park or whatever. Leave him at 5 or 6. Let him just do what he does and win the game.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Want to continue with India's innings, sorry. Just a few things I wanted to mention on there. KL Rahul coming in, obviously given a license again by Virat, who's been patient with him, because let's be honest, KL Rahul's had a poor series really, T20, and that is his game. Obviously, that is his format. He's a one-day player, and I just feel like it was really good to see from someone like Virat Kohli to say, you know what, I'm going to let you back your way back into contention, back your way back into form, rather than just be like, actually, I've got loads of players, because he could have easily just gone, KL Rahul's out, Pant is in. And look at the form Pant is in. But it just shows you, I think, the remarkable side of Virat Kohli to basically say, I know my batsmen are good enough. I know that he's good enough, and he will bat his way out of it. And that's exactly what he did today. Terrific knock from KL Rahul.
For me, still, I mentioned it earlier, Bairstow. I mean, he's not, it has to be the best knock of the day. It has to be either him or Darwan.
Darwan was given man of the match actually, but it could have actually gone to Bairstow. You're right. I mean, if we're going to move on to England's innings, I mean, how did you think we started? Do you think again it was? I mean, it's a terrific start. You can't argue for a start like that. Any
what they do, isn't it? That's what Roy and Bairstow do.
They've got to be the best opening partnership in the world at the moment in ODIs. I can't think of anyone that's better.
We just need to sort out that middle order that keeps crumbling. And I don't think Stokes is the person to be there. And I really think Morgan is. Morgan's someone that hits the ball at the fence every ball. Wouldn't it be great if he was in a power play when there's no fielders on the fence?
Joe Root is our number 3. Got to have your best batsman at 3. I mean, that's just in all forms. You know, I've seen firsthand. I've seen Joe Root live smash 70 or 40 balls against South Africa at the World Cup in India. I was there for that, and he played his 1s and 2s all for the start, and bang right at the end he went bang bang bang, and I've never been so happy in my life. It was such an amazing knock. I'd love to see Root play there again. Don't remember as well, we've got Milan. You know, we were all talking about Milan, and especially in the T20 series, you guys were all saying, first 10 balls, strike rate only 100, 110, and then starts to go bang, or whatever it was. ODIs would surely be perfect for him.
Perfect, yeah.
Milan,
perfect.
Yeah, I've got my criticisms with Milan, of course, but I think he would have been perfect today in that role. We had time. We were winning the game by 15 overs or so. He had that time to come in, cement the positions, and with him there, you don't see the likelihood of that sort of similar collapse isn't there. Especially, you're not going to see Milan getting out for ones like did too often.
Him or Root would have been lovely there at number 3 or 4, just coming in and just relaxing the team a bit. Yeah, all right, with 2 wickets down. Don't worry, lads. We're just going to knock a few balls about now.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to do. Someone like Root would have been perfect to come in and just control the innings, and very similar to what you're all saying. You just knock the ball around, manipulate the field a little bit, because he's got that class.
Milan and Root are both fantastic at doing that.
Yeah, just run the ball down to third man. It's a simple single. If the field's back, set back, simple single, keep yourself off strike, keep the rotation going, keeps the scoreboard ticking over. And on top of that, it kind of, at one point, Virat Kohli, I think he thought the game was gone. I watched him. I watched him, and we all know how expressive Virat Kohli's face is. Like when it's not going well, his dark eyebrows all come into it, and he's very he's got the double teapot coming onto all his bowlers. He's giving him all this, and you think, Jesus, this is gone. Yes, he's got the double teapot.
I think, to be honest, the teapot came out 5 overs in. I think it was smashing him to pieces, and he was just like.
Well, he's like, he called him Yadav in to control, as a controlled spinner. Obviously, Ed knows him well from KKR, and he can deliver. But today he was getting knocked all over the place, and Kohli was like, I don't know what to do. He brought third man up. We went over the top of third man. He pushed third man back. Guess what? He cut the ball square and put it past cover. It was just, honestly, Kohli at one point, I actually put down in my notes here, Kohli basically felt the game was done.
Do you guys think there is a big problem with the bowling, though, for England at the moment? Like, do you think in all formats of the game, really?
Moeen Ali's got to go.
Where's the bell? Where's the bell? Ding, 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 fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a Piers Morgan in a minute. Not doing this anymore. No, Moeen Ali he's got the same economy as anyone else, but he's good with the ball, with the bat. Sorry. The thing is, we don't have a good spinner. That's the problem in all formats. Leach, Bess, Moeen Ali, Rashid's, Adil Rashid, they're all very average, and that's the problem we've got. And I think that's the problem in all formats, because the strike of Jofra Archer and then either Broad or Anderson is very good in the tests, and then in the limited overs, we've got Wood and Archer, both very good. Both times we suffer because we don't have a spinner.
We produce pitches to swing bowling. That's why James Anson, Stuart Broad, Harmison, Hoggard, all the bowlers down the years. Even if you think back to Graham Swan, I mean, was he that good a spinner, or was he just an amazing spinner with the bowling lineup he was in? It took so many, not taken away from him, but if he was in a week, would he have taken so many wickets? I don't think so. But yeah, it's interesting. So Adil Rashid for me has got to be our best. It's got to be our best spinner. I mean, his ranking at number 5 in the T20 ranking says it for itself. Sort of been a little bit out of the ODI team recently. I don't think he's played much part in the World Cup, did he? So he's just finding his way back into the team. For me, it's got to be Adil Rashid. He is the best spinner. He is, the best spinner we've produced. Probably not world class, but still our best spinner.
Yeah, that's the problem for me, is that no one's going to look at Adil Rashid and think, "Oh, I wish he was in my team." Like literally no one. You could probably, and no one's going to say that about Moeen Ali either. But at least he can bat.
He's the best of what we've got, a spinner in terms of control. I think that's the key.
Well,
the key is at the minute, Adil can control the ball as to where he's going to land it.
Moeen Ali's economy is not much far off of Rashid. So if their economy is very similar, and Moeen Ali's going to get 30 with a bat, then it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
You've got to take into the consideration that we were trying to keep a lid on the innings. What's the point of having someone like Moeen Ali in if he's bowling 4 tosses all over the shop and every ball's going for 6 and 4? All of a sudden, we're chasing.
They brought him in at the wrong time today. Definitely, he hasn't bowled all series with a white ball. He hasn't played a game. He brings him in on the 23rd over with 2 set batsmen, one of them being Kohli and the other one being Darwan, saying, "Go on then, get a wicket or keep these 2 on tab." So you can't do that to him. You didn't give him any chance whatsoever. He went 3 overs, threw a few pies. Some of them went for 6, some of them went for 4, and then he didn't bring him back on. He didn't give him any chance whatsoever. Ridiculous.
Sorry, Rob. Tom Curran hasn't bowled at all. Yeah, this is his first game. He went from the economy rate at 6.3.
First 10 overs, he was very good, and then after that, he went downhill drastically.
Yeah, but that's normal for ODI. That's normal.
Are we saying here that England lost this again through bowling or batting, or do you think it's a combination of both?
Well, a collapse in the middle order of the batting, and also he wasn't very good with the ball. I don't believe that the Curran brothers are anything more than average. And if we're going to have both of them bowling, I think they had 10 each, didn't they? That's very average bowling coming in, And Rashid average, Moeen Ali average. They took out 13 between them. Stokes is a part-timer. 10, that's not a great bowl lineup.
Curran went for an economy rate of 4.8 after his 10 overs, and Stokes went for an economy rate of 4.2 with 3 wickets. So that's
they were bowling early. They were lucky that Morgan let them bowl early on. As we were just talking about earlier, India don't really go for it early on. They just try and, keep the wickets. So they were happy just playing just the odd shot, the odd bad ball went to the boundary. Whereas when Moeen Ali got in, they were happy to start kicking out. They were both set. And then you got Moeen Ali, who hasn't bowled yet, coming in at him. Of course they're going to attack him.
I think Moeen Ali, I'm not going to constantly attack him because I actually like him. I know the opinion what it looks like I've got is I don't like him. I really like him. I like his game. He's got so much class when he plays. When he plays his cover drives, a shot over long on he played today was stunning on the eye. Kept the shape. His head was in the right position, and that's all with not coming and batting on a regular basis. So as a batsman, I think he has a lot to give. As a bowler, I think he's got a lot more to bring. But I think overall, I feel like we lost this game through batting more than bowling because I think that was well chaseable.
Yeah, I agree.
And we had it under control. We had it under control, so I don't think we should hammer the bowlers too much. I think the batting was a bit unlucky, really. Billings had a bit of an injury. He hurt his shoulder, his collar. It turns out it might be a sprain, potentially severe bruising. But he looked okay. It didn't look like it hampered him too much. But obviously Stokes, unfortunately, just tried to throw his wicket away, unfortunately. As we touched on already, Bairstow, terrific knocked the batsman all over the place. But then towards the lower end, I think when you get into like the Sam Curran, Tom Curran, Rashid, Wood, I think that's a poor towel. I feel like our towel's not.
And that's exactly what I'm getting to. That's exactly why someone like Moeen Ali has to be the spinner, because at least then you have someone that can put 30 to 50 runs on the board.
England.
Whereas if
then-
you've got Rashid, you're not going to expect him to get more than sort of 5 or 10, really.
India's bowling attack is just something to behold. I mean,
They've
watching
got Bummer and Jadeja to come into that side.
just watching Boothie towards the end there, the control he has, his position of that seam is just it's beautiful. I mean, I used to bowl a little bit. I turned my arm over a few times for the team I played for. If I could have got a seam like that, mate, I'd be I'd be in a better position than I am in life now. That's for sure. But I mean, just towards the back end, I wrote this down. 65% of the balls he bowled were dot balls, 3.5 economy rate. I mean, it's just phenomenal. At one point, he was 2 wickets for 34 runs from 9 overs. You know, this guy's just got the ball on a string, bringing Root, Stokes, Bairstow. He could take them all out. You know, the class of that man.
You'd like to have Kohli's headache, wouldn't you?
Oh, mate, yeah, unbelievable. He must lay in bed sometimes and just think to himself, I am so blessed.
Yeah.
Of course, we are now live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Bit of a word from our followers today who've been texting, and thank you very much for everything you've helped us with so far and your contributions. Just in terms of what they've been saying, and they're saying it's now turning out to be a horrible tour of India. Seeing as how long does the Chennai first test win seem like? It just seems so long ago. They're wondering what the strongest teams are. Do you think we've seen the strongest England team at any point?
Strongest team would obviously people like Archer will be back in the fold, obviously. Joe Root.
Yeah.
No, it'd be interesting to see what happens in the next two. Just because I think someone like Parkinson needs to be given an opportunity.
Livingston.
Unfortunately, Moeen Ali might get dropped again.
You can't. It's impossible.
I'm not going to say
It's impossible. You can't drop him now.
I'm saying,
we've also got a few
something-
things to consider injuries-wise today. Morgan actually split the webbing on his hand.
Yeah.
I've never done that, but I'm sure when you look at your hand there, if you split that piece of your hand,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to be hampered severely, and obviously they're not going to want to take too many chances. And they were saying on commentary today that it's actually a very awkward injury to heal, because every time you put your hand in that glove, your hand's separated. And
Might bring a bit of balance into the side though, because Morgan's obviously quite destructive, just hit out all guns blazing. If we can bring Milan or Livingston into the team, might be a little bit more balanced than a middle order collapse.
Do you see Parkinson coming in, Rob? Do you reckon he'll also get a better economy rate than Moeen Ali, seeing as most of the bowlers do?
Actually, Moeen Ali's economy rate is pretty good if you look at his over the history of him in the game, in all formats of the game. I think he's only I think IPL, he's only about 7.
Rob is currently broadcasting from Moeen Ali's hotel.
Yeah.
I think he offers something a bit different to Adil Rashid and Moeen Ali, because I've watched him a lot in the county game, and it's great to see he's got his opportunity if he does get one. That is, he's a much slower through the air kind of bowler, and I think it will give India something different to think about.
Especially whilst his injuries as well. We may as well. I mean, if there's ever a time to tinker, it's when you've got a couple of niggle injuries, and that now's a perfect chance to get them in and see what they can do, give themselves a chance.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
What do we think, boys? Can England win the next game?
No.
For me, I predicted 2-1 England. I'm standing by that. India have got their one. I'm going to be going England win the next two.
I mean, I suppose if we bat a lot better than we could.
How many times have we been ahead, though? How many times have we been ahead and then India have just found a way to come back? Whatever strong position we're in, they don't panic. Cody knows what he's doing. He might look frustrated to us cameras when the commentators are giving him a bit of grief and asking whether he's a bit rattled, but he's not. You can assure of that, and they just keep coming with rotations and players who perform. Like, just so much passion.
Would have been if Bairstow didn't go out the way he did. Bairstow stayed in for another 20 balls. I think they would have been in big trouble.
Yeah, tough series. I'm going to stick with India 2-1. Where do you think, Ed?
I reckon England will probably rally for one of the games. It's hard over in India. Like, the toss doesn't even mean anything to us because we just seem to win the toss and lose games. So if we can catch them on a good day and get the selections right, then maybe. But yeah, that's an optimistic 2-1. Realistically, I would be surprised if we did win any more games in this series.
No, I think we can win the next one if we just get the batting a bit more right. I mean, if we win the next one, then obviously we can definitely win the last one. But yeah, I still think 2-1 England.
Before we close here, I don't want to see Morgan decide to think to himself, okay, the tactics needs to change completely, because they don't. Don't make no bones about it. We was in a fantastic position through the aggressive style of cricket. I don't want to lose that brand of cricket that we've got, but there is times where we just need to hold back a little bit.
Bit of man management
Exactly.
in the middle.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So let's just hope for the best. And just please, if you can, guys, anyone obviously watching this, please get your tweets over to us, because every week we'll read them out. And we look forward to all of your feedback, whether it's agreeing with us, disagreeing with us, whether you think Ross should have a shave or whether he should stay the way he is. Any comments you've got with my background's too plain and boring compared to everyone else's, we're here to take them all on board. Obviously, you can see the Twitter there is at the Fourth Stump. Over to you, Ed, to wrap it up.
Just to wrap on a tiny bit of trivia, I'm going to put a post in the group as well. But today saw the two Curran brothers and the two Pandya brothers both playing together. Two brothers, opposing nations, playing ODI cricket. Doesn't happen too often. I was looking back into the last time it's happened, and I found February 2012 tour of South Africa, the Morkel brothers and the McCullum brothers. That was 2012. I'm not sure if there was one before, one more recent than that. I couldn't find it, but if anybody knows or anybody has any knowledge of that, we'd like to hear from you. We've been the Fourth Stump with Rob, Ross, Ed, and Roy, and thank you for listening. Keep on contributing, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you very much.